I think putting people first is key. I think that's the beauty of marketing is like, or the fun side of marketing is I get to pretend I am the person I'm trying to sell products to. Because it's not really about your product. It's about the person we're selling it to. That's what I feel at least, right? So I try to understand, their pain points, their desires, what they care about. So I have to ingrain myself in their day-to-day life.
Welcome to another episode of Marketers Talking Marketing. Today, we're talking about how to get people to buy your shit. That's the topic of conversation. We're joined with Leander. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you for having me. So I'm Leander Howard II, co-founder and CMO of RightSeed. We are a solution that helps job boards or online recruitment marketplaces unlock their revenue while also enhancing their candidate experience through white label career services. So think of like an Indeed. We'll go to Indeed and say, hey, you should offer career services to your job seekers because they need help marketing themselves to potential employers. And employers are paying you to find quality candidates. So you should care about the people that's coming to your platform and helping them actually get jobs, right?
So win-win.
It's a win-win, right? That's what business is about, right? Where everybody's winning, nobody's complaining.
Prior to RightSeed, you had a company, right? So you've been on the side of selling into businesses and also selling into individuals.
Yes.
What's the secret? How do you get people to give you money?
I think putting people first is key. I think that's the beauty of marketing is like, or the fun side of marketing is I get to pretend I am the person I'm trying to sell products to. Because it's not really about your product. It's about the person we're selling it to. That's what I feel at least, right? So I try to understand, their pain points, their desires, what they care about. So I have to ingrain myself in their day-to-day life. Like, what does a doctor love? What do they hate? What are their struggles? What are their objections? What are their fears? Right. So I'm writing all of those things down. I put that into copy. I put that into my messaging. I put it on my website. Right. I want to make them feel like I understand what they're going through. Because when people feel like you understand them, they're more inclined to listen and to engage. Because I've had people tell me like, man, I'm so glad you understand my business. I feel like I'm talking to somebody that gets me. Right. Yeah. So it makes one hell of a difference when you actually take the time to do like market research, customer discovery, asking the right questions to get the answers you need in order to paint your solution as the perfect thing that they need to buy, right?
Yeah. You're coming to them as almost a peer in that sense, instead of just trying to sell into them.
Yeah.
Where do you start? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was asked, where do you start with that research? How do you get into their head?
So how I look at it is I have all of these assumptions, right? So I'm just trying to validate my assumptions. So if I feel like everything is assumption, so like our business model was an assumption. Do job boards even want this? The only way I know if a job board actually wants this is by talking to the people at the job board. So I'm going to find people I use LinkedIn all the time. So LinkedIn Sales Navigator is like the only thing I really use to find quality prospects. I know you have other tools like Apollo and like all the sales and implement tools.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Zoom info, all that stuff. I think Sales Navigator is like the root of all that. I can literally do Boolean search on C-suite executives. I'm finding companies, looking at different industries, company headcount, annual revenue, the whole nine, right? And I'm finding these companies and I'm finding the decision makers in those companies. And I'm literally reaching out to them, I'm finding their email address or sending them an email message or connecting with them on LinkedIn and telling them, like, pitching myself like, yo, this is what we do. Here's how I can benefit you. Would you be interested in learning more about this? Period. Right? Because in our business model, I'm helping you increase your bottom line. So I'm going after CROs. I'm looking at all the sales function of the business because those are the people that's probably going to care. That's my assumption. Right? If you're in sales, your goal is to make money for the company. My benefit is helping you make more money.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm going to target those people, right? And I'm going to talk to them like as I'm them. What would you care about? Revenue. Great. Hey, I have a product that's going to increase your bottom line in the next 3 to 6 months. Are you interested in learning more about how we can do this? Great. Let's get on the 30-minute call. I already have my questions outlined or a presentation kind of explaining what we do, right? And then at the end of that presentation, I'm like, okay, how do you feel about this? Is it something you can see yourself actually using? how would this impact your business? How does it make you feel as a CRO or a VP of sales? Right? If you brought this to your CEO or CTO product person, would they be able to implement this? Do you care about this? And it's like I'm just validating my assumptions. But the only way I'm doing that is by talking to people. And I think that's what social media is taking us away from, is like having those real conversations, like one-on-one conversations. Everybody's posting content and hoping people click link in bio to purchase shit. I'm the type of guy, I'm calling you, I'm emailing you, I'm engaging with you on social, but I need you to see me. I need to meet with you, right? Whether that's virtually, whether I'm flying out to your city or you're flying to my city, we're doing dinner, like building real relationships is how we do business.
Well, that's the core of sales. I can't even tell you the number of BDRs and SDRs I've talked to where I'm like, just pick up the phone. Just pick up the phone. We got a phone number on our contact form. When they're requesting a demo, they got a phone number. Just call them. They want us. They're submitting. Just call them. And they're like, I'll email them. It's like, just call them.
Call them.
Pick up the phone. It's not that hard.
It's not. It's not. Like, I just cold called a lady yesterday. I got a demo book. So it's like, it's not hard. I think it's just people's fear of like being rejected. I don't care about being rejected. Like, I just don't. Like,
you can't in sales. You can't. You cannot. You cannot. Well, sales and entrepreneurship, right? As a co-founder, like, you cannot be afraid of someone's. And you know what? Let them say they don't want your product. Great. Now you know not to talk to them. You don't have to waste your time with them.
Exactly.
So many people are afraid. They're afraid to hit their list. They're afraid to send cold emails. They're afraid to pick up the phone and call. And they're afraid to pitch themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, how are we going to get anywhere? I mean, candidates, this goes back to candidates, right? You probably work with a lot of candidates who come in and they got their resume and you're like, you're not selling yourself. Like, well, I want to be humble. You know, I'm a modest person. It's like, sell yourself.
Hey, I always say, if you're not going to do it, somebody else will.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have everything to gain and nothing to lose, in my opinion. Yeah. So, like, I'm going to be in the same position today if I don't cold call this person, or if I cold call them and they don't answer.
Yeah.
I have something to gain, a meeting. I have nothing, absolutely nothing to lose.
100%.
By picking up the phone and saying, hey, this is Leander from RightC. I found your information on LinkedIn. I see you're, the CRO of a job board. We help. No. Are you interested in learning more?
Yeah.
And just pause.
Bam. I have, there's so many times I'll get, not in my little bit less in the agency, is a different world, but before, when I was like a head of marketing role, I would get reached out to on LinkedIn repeatedly. And then every once in a while someone would call. And most of the time when they called, I'd end up booking a meeting. Because I could actually talk to the person. Yeah. But people they're allergic to the phone. They're afraid of it.
People are allergic to the phone. They're afraid of, like, that's what social media has done, though. Like, we feel like we can post and people know us or see us.
Yeah. Attraction marketing.
Yes. But people are marketing. I'm a direct marketer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the best at, like, I think I'm good at creating the content. The distribution, I'm not best at. And I know that. That's not my strong suit of marketing. What I am good at is, though, booking meetings. and getting people to reply to code emails.
Yeah.
Like, complete strangers. Like, I was running my Spark Your Resume, my service-based business. I would literally find people on LinkedIn that are open to work using like LinkedIn Recruiter and cold email them all day long.
Were you messaging them on LinkedIn, or were you like finding their email address and like emailing them?
Yes. Find their email address from LinkedIn and then cold emailing these people at scale. And I would literally get 20, 30 replies every single day. Like, it was no joke. Yeah. Like, it was crazy. My team is like, yo, he just cracked the code. Like, I would literally be like,
taking action.
Hey, Jess, I see you're open to work on LinkedIn. We do excellent. We help managers, directors, VPs, C-suite executives get hired within 30 to 90 days. Are you actively job searching? Yeah. I look forward to hearing from you soon. And they'll reply yes if you're actively job searching. Yes. And then I'll put them in another campaign. It's like, hey, thanks for getting back to me. See how we help, 500 people land their dream job in 90 days less. Book a meeting here, right? To learn more. I'm talking about the links to book meetings. Yeah. Crazy. And then we'll book like 150 meetings a month.
Oh my
I
God.
had a 70% show up rate, 30% close rate.
Shit. So what were you, were you using like SalesLoft or Outreach or Mailshake? Like were you using anything automated or were you just kind of?
Yes, I was using Go High Level.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
I've not used it.
Oh, boy,
I'm
it's
just
dope.
acting like I know what it is.
Yeah,
I haven't used it.
Yeah, I used Go High Level at one point to do like all my automation and run all my campaigns.
Yeah, it's interesting, I think, how many marketers will miss the cold emailing side of things where they'll think, oh, sales does that, let's not touch it. But you can, you can do that programmatically. You can do that at scale easily. And like in your example, you're emailing them, reply yes, if so. They reply, you put them into another email to send the booking link. You don't have to have anyone necessarily manning that inbox. You can still automate it and make it something that you can do at scale, which marketing is in essence sales at scale.
Oh, for sure. 100%. I think marketing is everything before and after the sale.
Yeah.
Like marketing is literally every component of the business. Customer service is marketing, like post-purchase marketing, lead generation marketing, right? Sales funnels, marketing. But all of that stuff is marketing. It's like customer journey.
Hear that, sellers? You're just marketing.
No, facts. I know. 100%. Like
we're gonna start a war.
Like my sales director literally comes to me for messaging.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, what should I say to these people? Now they're good at getting on a meeting, for doing presentation, demos, getting their pain points, actually, talking to them and closing deals, signing contracts. But getting them to that meeting, it's hard.
And you have so much more data, right? If you're sending email blasts, you're talking to people, you have all that data where if you have a seller that's doing their own meeting setting, they're maybe getting maybe they're doing 100 touch points a week. It's much less data than you would have as the marketing seat. So.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I think, even sales needs to figure out how to do things at scale. So I'm not reaching out to only 100 people a week. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Some are thousands of people a week.
Yeah.
With email, 1,500 emails going out a day, LinkedIn requests, fucking email and LinkedIn can get you clients.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. I've done
it. So your last business where you're doing the resume, career services, the you guys working with candidates directly, not through the job board. Did you source a majority of that? It sounds like you sourced a majority of that. I rephrase my question. It sounds like you sourced a majority of that just through LinkedIn and emailing.
Yes. So LinkedIn Recruiter, LinkedIn Recruiter shows me everybody's open to work, right? And literally it was 100 million people.
Yeah. And it's $150 a month. It's not even that insane, I don't think.
So it's expensive.
Oh wait, there's a couple versions of it.
Yes, a couple versions. Yeah. So the one I had was really expensive, maybe $1,000 a month, right?
Yeah, well, still $1,000 compared to revenue coming in.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's customer CAC is low.
Yeah.
Low key, that's where I was getting all my leads from. Look, damn near.
Yeah.
Right. So I would literally go on LinkedIn Recruiter, search open to work, but then I would target C-suite execs, because I know my price point.
Yeah.
These are the people that's willing to pay for these services and they're open to work. So they're looking for a new role.
Yeah.
So now I'm just plugging people into the system, same messaging, same copy because it's working. I find my winning copy, I run into play.
Yeah.
Every day I have my admin add 500 new people in the list. Every day. My CRM had 60,000 people in my CRM for cold email.
Love it. I mean, it's I feel like it's one of those core tactics that's tried and true when you can unlock it and do it well.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
But you have to have the systems in place. I use a lot of different tools, right? So I had LinkedIn Recruiter, and I use Zapier to automate everything to go straight into my CRM. But what I created was a workflow, right? And it took me a minute to get here because I had to find Never Bounce, right? That does all my email validation. SalesQL literally gives me all the contact data from LinkedIn, phone number, email address. But then I verify it with Never Bounce. I filter it through Zapier, send it to my CRM, put them in a campaign, and it's automatically going out. So my admin, all they got to do is go to LinkedIn Recruiter, add them to Sales QL, and everything else is done. They're getting added to my CRM. Only valid contacts. So I created a system to where I'm big on like less human error. That's where automation comes in, right? So where I don't have to rely on a human to remember to do something. I know for a fact that they do this one action, all of these steps are running.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
It's most definitely the way to do it. Because I don't have to like remind them or trust that they remember to do this task every single day.
Yeah. Systems are what bring scale and a lot. I mean, this is so in the current role, recently got acquired, might not be recent depending on when this episode comes out. Right. But we've been working with a software development company to build like custom systems for clients, because that's where we see the biggest impact is if you want to do SEO at scale and create like 600 SEO pages, that's a lot of work unless you automate it. If you want to go, if you want to go and do ABM pages, that's a lot of work unless you automate it. But when you automate it, it like you said, removes the likelihood of human error at every single step. You can be more efficient with it, and it makes it repeatable. So you as like one person with an admin can be reaching out to hundreds of thousands of people, well, maybe not hundreds of thousands, thousands of people a day.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know if any email system would not flag you as spam if you're sending that many 100,000 emails, but you can go thousands of people a day, without needing additional headcount.
But so about the spam stuff, right? So right you see that we're doing some crazy stuff where we're sending like 1,000 emails a day. So I've been learning like how to really do that at scale. You need custom IP address. You need your own IP address. You got to have multiple domains. So what I do is I buy 3 domains, right? Like that's not my main domain. So say my business is sparkyourresume.com. I'll buy try-sparkyourresume.com, get-sparkyourresume.com, shop-sparkyourresume.com. Then I will buy 3 email addresses underneath each. So I have 9 email addresses total. I'm warming up all 9 at the same time, but I'm only using 3. And I spin those email addresses out every 2-3 weeks, right? To where my reputation is never flagged.
Yeah. You can do those subdomains, I think, too. Just adding in more and more subdomains, right?
We've done that with subdomains. You can do that with subdomains, but the thing about subdomains is like, if anything goes wrong, it's still related to your main domain, right? So I didn't want to take that risk.
Yeah.
So where like, if something else, because I've had that happen, like we literally were in spam for like 30 days straight.
Yeah.
And nobody was seeing our emails. We had to go buy a new domain and start the whole process over.
Yeah.
To literally get back to where we needed to be. And now we're good. And another thing is batching. Batching your emails is key. So I only send out 200 per hour. So say if I have my admin is adding in 1,000 people a day, I'm only sending out 200 emails per hour. So it'll take me 5 hours to get all of those people their first email. But that's 1 day of work.
Yeah.
But now my system is my email deliverability is going to inbox, and then we use this other tool called Glock Apps. So Glock Apps is something that you can test your emails with, and it'll tell you like where your emails are going and how, like if they're hitting the inbox in Gmail, Outlook, AOL, Yahoo, and it literally tells inbox, spam, and it'll give you feedback on like how to get your stuff off Google spam filters and Microsoft spam filters, because it's like Outlook. So it's a little different from Outlook and Gmail. Like I've been learning all of this stuff for the past like 3 months. And it's crazy how deep it runs, and email deliverability is crazy. It's a black hole. Like there's no course for it. I promise you. It's like one little thing. You
gotta build one. New business venture.
I know. One little thing can like throw all your shit off. Like it's like content. Like what email address you're using? Is you got dedicated IP addresses? What email service provider you use? Are you using SendGrid, Mailgun, like Active Campaign, MailChimp, whatever the case may be? Like all of that stuff matters.
Now, what are you using now for sending emails?
SendGrid.
SendGrid, that's like your preferred.
Yeah, I like SendGrid. We weren't using Mailgun at first. Mailgun is okay. SendGrid, they allow us to like really get they allow us to get like 3 dedicated IP addresses a month. So like that really, really helps. Like it costs, but we have funding now, so we have to like, that's just something we have to do. So if you're a more of like an established business or you got funding, like VC back, then I would recommend getting your dedicated IP, because on a shared IP, it's you and all of these other companies. So if one person is doing something wrong, it affects your deliverability. With my dedicated IP, I put max like 3 different domains on that IP, to where I am in control of my email deliverability. Nobody else has the IP address.
That makes sense. And makes
so it's my reputation.
Sense. Yeah. I feel like so much of email marketing and like I'm going to call it like the thought leadership on email marketing is around the content, the messaging, and like the visuals, and it's not around like the setup.
I'm telling you right now, none of that matters if your emails are going to spam.
Yeah.
No
one's seeing it anyways.
Nobody's seeing it anyways. Your content doesn't fucking matter. So deliverability should be your first goal. Yeah. Once deliverability, then you test your content. Like content is a beast too. Like, man, what was it? Like opportunities. Like the word opportunities in your content, flag, spam. Like
because like work from home opportunity,
opportunities, sale, dollar signs, 50% off.
Yeah,
like,
too many links.
Promotions. You'll go to promotions, and I literally tested with block apps. Like it will tell you your shit is going to promotion.
Yeah.
Versus inbox. So we changed our copy. Like I just hired a marketing analyst. She ran 70 tests in a day. For like 6 emails.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
6 emails, 70 tests, and she still didn't have it nailed down.
Well, I mean, I feel like it never ends, right? There's always ways to improve. There's always ways to improve it and make it better. What's your open rates? What are you seeing for email open rates?
Oh, my open rates go crazy, like 50, 60%.
What?
I swear to God, I got data on. I can show you. Like it's really, it's really wild. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, because the open rates now, because of the Apple privacy, can be a little flawed. Yeah. So I'm more concerned about click rates, right? Like click through rate. So we see about, it depends on the email, right? So our first email campaign that we're running is like getting people to open their resume review. We see a high open rate and a high click. My click through rate is like 20-30% on that email because people want the resume review.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But after that, to like go to the website, it can be like 5 to 10%. Yeah. You know, so it gets a little lower, but the open rate is still like 50%.
That's crazy.
So like 1 out of 2 people are opening the email.
Yeah.
But then out of that, 5 to 10% of people are clicking. So like,
I mean, it's a power of testing, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Out,
for sure. Yeah. Now some like testimonial emails, 50% open rate, 20% click through rate. To where it's like, hey, see how Lynette increased her salary by like $85,000.
Yeah, and they're like, what?
Oh, what?
Also, because that's not a little jump.
Right. They gotta see that.
Yeah.
But that's social proof, right? And I think that's another thing, like social proof sales. So if anybody's starting a business, right, focus on getting your first customer, getting the results, and collecting that social proof, because that's going to help you get more customers. I think I had this phrase where it was like, I think content breeds credibility, credibility breeds clients, clients breed case studies breed more clients. And that was my like framework on like how to really go from 0 to 1 when it comes to like getting clients and then getting more clients.
Yeah. Well, it's true. I mean, people would rather hear and take a recommendation from a peer or someone that's a human versus a company being like, we're great. Believe
100%.
us.
Right.
We're great.
100%.
Well, we are coming up on time, but I want to ask you a question I ask every guest. Yep. What is your either favorite or least favorite part of your tech stack? Is there a tool that you just cannot live without?
Zapier.
Yeah.
Zapier is like, I could not live without Zapier.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, I don't know what I don't know what I would do. Like, I have so many freaking things automated. If Zapier closed today, I'll be fucking screwed.
Yeah.
Like, I would pay them more not to close.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Leander, thank you so much for joining us. If anyone wants to learn more, we'll have all of his links in the bio below. You know, leave your comments, questions, thoughts if you want us to chat about anything. And thank you so much for joining us.
I really appreciate it. This was great. I do appreciate you having me.